That is good banter.
All right, kick it, Tommy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 56 pickup sticks of the Good Banter podcast. And holy shitballs,
What a big one.
have we got an episode? And firstly, right off the bat, you really, if you want to hear some mates, hear from mates you haven't heard of for a while, you just jump on a podcast and mention that you have an amazing brain, and people will. I got mates I thought were dead have contacted me in the last couple of weeks, in the last week, just to ask about my amazing brain. So look, it's not my proudest moment, I must admit.
I must admit, you did backpedal pretty quickly as well.
Yeah,
Seggy.
I did, but still it came out of my mouth.
Once I called you on, if I hadn't called you on, I thought you might have tried to sneak that through there, mate.
No. Look, it's something I'm not happy about, but God, I think back to the days where you could say something like that, and then and it would just be between mates. But now everything's bloody captured. It's there forever. It's been immortalised, and unfortunately, I
Did you see the photo? Alan Crum, who he's been great on the. He's been watching the YouTube. He's been catching up on episodes of that. He's on the Instagram. He's sent in a great photo. He's photoshopped a massive brain onto your suburban footballer head.
I'm not sure what Crummy does for work, but he's obviously got a bit of
a bit of time.
Things are a bit slow in the office because he's got time within minutes of it being downloaded. He's somehow got handy with his with some very basic graphic work there and put a brain on the side. Good looking
brain.
It's a great brain. I wouldn't mind. It's
brain.
Not an amazing brain, but a good brain nonetheless. So later this episode, we've obviously got, because anyone that tuned in last week will know, we kept people hanging. People are hanging.
They're waiting.
They're waiting for to find out about your festival.
Yep.
What happened there,
Yep.
and also it's ADHD day for me.
ADHD day.
That
works well.
Do I have ADHD or am I an absolute idiot? Well, I found out during the week, so we'll reveal that.
Great.
It's exciting times. We've had some
Got a few emails,
got a few
mate.
emails.
Which obviously I hadn't. Well, I checked, but my printer. Jesus Christ, how
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here again, but also just the printer cartridges I haven't updated. I ran out of the black ink, and I've been to Officeworks about 35 times since. And do you think I could remember what printer I have and remember to take the empty cartridge and maybe top it up and buy a $700 black ink cartridge? I didn't do that.
Surprisingly expensive black ink from Officeworks. Not many people would go down the ink cartridge aisle, pick up what they want, look at the price, and not
fair.
say, "Fuck me, that's a lot more than I thought."
Yeah, it's bullshit. As I think a few people, you're best off buying a new printer.
Better off buying a new printer
That's
and you
so
get the
cheap.
cartridge.
Just chuck the fucking things out.
Exactly, and it's a Wednesday night. Because we were going to do it last night, but I stood you up, unfortunately.
You did, mate. And
Evan,
do you want to run us through? We've
got a couple of things to. Well, first we'll run through that, because I won't say who I was working for.
Don't.
Yesterday, but I had the day off and was doing a bit of acting, which I don't do a great deal of. But
and acting and your name isn't something you usually put in two sentences.
No, but they wanted me
in the one sentence.
In the one
Sorry,
sentence.
I don't know what I was thinking there.
So they wanted me. They said, "You're the man for the job." And I won't say which company I was working for, but look, you can probably fucking work it out if you listen to past episodes. But so I've gone in there, and the shoot was in, of all places, Revolver.
Really? Now, what is Revolver like during the day? Were the lights on? Were there any pills on the ground? Were there any corpses? How was Revolver looking? Is it a sad place, or is it?
Well, there was a big, which I'd never noticed before. There was a giant, probably metre high by half a metre poster just running through the negative effects of drugs. That's on the front.
Wow. Clearly, that was just for looks.
Yeah,
I don't think. No one's really looking.
No
at
one's
that,
really. I think they might.
They've been on a 24-hour.
I think at night they might just move the cigarette machine in front of that sign, because no one's. It's pretty useless. But one thing that shocked me, and I don't know if any listeners have been to Revolver, is in the
judging from our the people who are hitting us up. I reckon there's a lot of listeners who have been to Revolver
that have popped in,
just
in
dropped
there
in, said g'day,
some
and
stage
maybe
on
come out 3
on
days
a weekend.
later.
But one thing, and everyone, because it was a fairly young crew, I was probably one of the older ones in the crew. One thing that every person said was, "It is very fucking small." Like, I remember just taking what seemed like an hour to get from one side to the other. Like, you were like, I'm going to the bar. It would just be, maybe you got sidetracked and talked to people and it was crowded, but it's a small joint. It's only, I'd only say 15 by 15.
No, well, I reckon that's the thing, because Dakota out in Ringwood, which used to be the old Denim Lounge, that was my favourite haunt when I was
The Denim Lounge.
The Denim Lounge. It was called the Denim Lounge, but then it went to Dakota.
Yep.
And yeah, I always thought it seemed big when it was packed with people, but then you look at because it's just a little facade at the front, and it's actually tiny. But when you're you're in there. There's I don't know how many people are in there, but when you know nearly everyone, it's hard to sort of get any.
You know everyone, do you, mate?
Any kind of it was Ringwood, mate.
Everyone knows everyone at Ringwood.
There was nothing in Moorabah to go to. You're not going to Bryce's or, hanging out down the station unless you want to sell some drugs.
No.
So Dakota was the spot to go, because that's half the time we go, we're going to go into the city. All right, this weekend we're going to go into the city, and then you'd get in a taxi, you'd get, the fare would be up to $20, $25. You go, fuck that, we're not going to the city.
No,
Drop us off at Dakota.
That's crazy money. That's a shout.
Let's go in there.
Yeah, so look, we've had some. So that was the one thing that really surprised me. But I was meant to be out of there at 1:30, and I was meeting you at my workplace at 5 to do the podcast last night. And I thought,
locked and loaded.
Even if I'm running late, even if I go an hour over, 2:30, I've still got 2.5 hours to get back. We've got time to burn.
And you just text me. You said, I'm still here. That's all right.
And you weren't stressing.
I forgot a towel, so I had to go buy an $18 towel.
Yep.
Where
does one buy a towel?
Well, I thought that. I didn't want to go. I just went into Safeway.
Okay.
Woolworths.
Oh,
it's back in the 90s here, the fresh food people. Woolworths. I went into Woolworths because I thought, I'll just go in there. I didn't want to go and get some flash towel, but $18 for a single towel's a bit steep, is it? I don't know.
I would have thought under $20 for a towel would have been fairly.
It's fair enough.
Reasonable.
I used it just before. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Soft.
New ones always are, Evan. But anyway, so we've so at this shoot, and one of the roles in this shoot was for an old man. And
so that was your role?
No, that was not my role. But so they got this old man in at about 9:30. And I'm probably
we're in our 40s, Tommy. Well, I'm almost 40. When you say old, that could be 50. It could be 52. Are we talking 160? How old?
He was 80s.
Oh, okay.
He was 80s, and he was a big part of this of this sketch. So they've got this guy in, and as I said, it's a young crew. So no one had an 80-year-old mate they could just ring on. So not many people do. You could have your grandparents. But anyway, so they decided to go through an agency.
Yep.
Anyway, so they've got this guy, mate. He's perfect. He's exactly the look they want.
Looks 80.
Let's get him down there. Anyway, he's turned up. Let's call him Ian. So
Ian.
Is Ian here? And they're setting up the scene. It's quite a big scene. Big set they've got to work out. Ian's out getting hair and makeup. Oh. Well, not a lot of hair on Ian. And he had this sort of old hat. They really wanted to emphasise that he was old. It was very important. You could have told this. You could just tell he was.
Did he smell old? You know how sometimes old people smell a bit?
Didn't smell him, but they even whacked, which I think was a bit. They even whacked a hearing aid on him. He didn't have a hearing aid. They really wanted to emphasise this guy's old.
He's an actor, mate. He's with an agency.
He's an actor.
He knows what he's in for.
He knows what he's in. He
comes in, I've got to look ancient.
Yeah. So he's cool with that. So all right. So Ian's out the back. I said, has he read the script? Yeah. Ian's read the script. He knows what to do. So Ian's come down, sat at the table, and a couple of people have spoken to Ian in the lead up. And then all of a sudden, here we go. Obviously, not many people had spoken to him. All right, Ian, can you just run through your lines? And Ian was like, okay, Oh,
So he's Irish?
no, he's had a really strong German accent.
Oh.
Like really strong. Like, can you do German?
I can go.
Oh,
Eins, zwei, drei,
okay.
vier.
So-
Auf Wiedersehen.
It was really almost Russian sort of. He was like, okay, so my friends, we are here. And everyone was just going, what the fuck? And you could just see them looking. A couple of people said, let's go out the room. And someone said, did anyone
Ask if he can speak English.
or anyone see a show reel of this guy?
Oh, yeah.
No, they just worried about the look. So anyway, he was, and everyone was too polite to just to tell
Well,
this
you
guy
can't
to go.
fuck Ian off when everyone's already there. You got to persevere with Ian, the German who can't talk English.
So they filmed this whole thing with Ian, knowing too well. I don't even know if they turned the bloody cameras on, because knowing too well they wouldn't use this.
Oh, no.
They were too. Well, we can't hurt Ian's feelings. We can't piss him off without him ever doing it.
He's 80.
mind you,
He's had his feelings hurt before.
he's had his heart broken many times,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But yeah, so they let him do the whole thing, and then basically said, "Okay, Ian, thanks for coming." He said,
Fuck
"Are you
off.
sure? It was just one take." No, Ian, get out of here. And so he's gone. And then they had to frantically, all right, who the fuck are we going to use? So they've sort of said, all right, who looks the oldest? Surprisingly, it wasn't me. And there was another guy that they whacked the hearing aid on this on this. He would have been under 40. I whacked the hearing aid on him, this hat, and that was, you could just tell everyone was a bit deflated, and it was like, yeah, this is a tough sell that this guy's 80, because he was clearly...
Hair and makeup would have really had to gone over the top to
Yeah, well, they
make
didn't-
him look
They
80.
didn't do a great deal.
Okay.
Just whacked the hat and hearing aid on him and the sort of cane, and that was it. But so that's why I'm late, because this whole shoot got pushed back.
Pushed
So I
back
did
because-
apologise, and I said many times I apologise. But yep, so here we are.
No, well,
Wednesday
that was
night.
good, mate, because what I did, like I said, I went and got the towel. I thought that's beautiful. I thought I'll get an apple while I'm in Woolworths. I'll look after myself. You didn't take that. Take
Nah.
that if you got.
Oh,
No, he's hung up. He thought better of it. He thought I've rung the wrong person there.
Have you got I got that phone call before. Have you got that phone call? It's a recorded message saying you have
Got a
not
small
paid
dick.
your. You have not paid your. Oh fuck! Disregard. It's like.
You're right there, Ian.
I think it's Ian wanting his work back.
Yeah. He goes, I'm a bit sure I need the hours. Yeah. So I went, I got the apple. I thought, beautiful. I'll send some emails. You sent a message saying, are you happy? I'm going to be a bit late. Are you happy to go have a wank in a park or something? Which is classic banter.
Classic. Siegert.
Good banter. I said, no worries, mate. I've got to get a towel. I've got to send some emails and I've got to have a wank. So it works perfectly. So I get there, I get the towel, I get the apple, things are looking good. I rock up at your joint and I owe you a bit of cash.
Oh, you owe me some cash.
I owe you a
That's
bit
right.
of cash.
We
So
gig the
I
other
thought,
night.
fuck, I forgot that. So I went out and got the cash and then I came back and then I rang you because now it's getting a bit bloody, it's about 5:30 or something.
It's about 5:30, so I'm running late.
What's happening here? And you said, mate, we're sort of just winding up. I'm still an hour away. Now I love doing the pod. I love doing it all, but I'm already
But-
2 hours. Fucking
Yeah, you
could
just
have been
hovering.
at home.
You're just hovering. And,
I'm just hovering, doing
and I said,
nothing.
mate,
Looking seedy.
I apologise because I wasn't too. I'm sweating like a bloody dog
well,
here.
yeah.
But
Jesus.
because I was a bit worried about because just days earlier, Evan, I did a gig for you
Yes,
in Kensington.
you did.
And
Hardeman's
it was-
Hotel, great gig, good fun.
And it was a Thursday night.
Thursday night. It was last Thursday night.
Thursday night, I IMC'd, great gig, bit of fun. It was $300 cash.
Yep.
I don't know. No, sorry. It was 300. The payment was $300.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's not much. It's not much.
no, but it's good. It's for
it's
Thursday
all right,
night.
yeah.
I was out there trying some new material.
You're doing some good
crowd.
stuff.
Got to see Randy,
Yes.
working with the comedian Randy before he goes overseas. So that was a bit of a buzz, mate. I'm doing gigs for nothing at the moment, so I'm just happy to.
So I've
happy to
overpaid
be-
you.
Yeah, you've overpaid me, but anyway, so then right at the end of the night, you go where the money would always
Come
change.
out, there'd be the golden handshake.
Yeah.
It'd be like, there
Which
you
is
go.
a little bit weird when you're doing it with a mate. It's a little bit weirder, but who cares? So you are about to give me the 300, and then you say,
Tommy, are you okay to send through an invoice? And the look you gave me was like, I'd said, Ian, is your dad. Like,
Yeah.
you gave me the weirdest fucking look.
But I was joking.
Where?
Oh, 100%. Like, 100%.
You were hanging around like a fucking bad smell. I thought,
Well, I was helping you pack up.
well, you were offering to help pack up. And then I said, oh, can you just, invoice me? Is that sweet? And you gave me that look, and you go, oh, and then you do, because you're not serious too often. You sort of did that, this is shit ass.
Yeah, and I pretended to throw a chair.
Pretended to
so
throw a
clearly,
chair and
because
gave me a little.
Because obviously cash is better.
One in the ribs.
Cash is better. But,
Comics love cash.
But if you got to invoice, you got to invoice, which is fine. And anyway, so I'm trying to.
It happened at about 11:20. This is it. This is it.
Yeah. All right, so I've written
And what I did, because I had to work the next day, I was going to be late, so I stayed at Katzy's joint, Johnny Katz's joint. I stayed.
You stayed there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing sus.
So
Just a couple of mates.
So later that night, I've got home and I've just sent you a message. Said, thanks for the gig, mate. I'm not sure why everyone was down the dumps, because a few people thought it wasn't as up and about as other nights.
Well,
but, mate, I thought
Hardeman's
it was
is
great.
usually a real pumping gig, but there was sort of some new people there. I think maybe Randy brought in some new people who maybe, some people hadn't been to Hardeman's before, so it just wasn't electric. You want it to be electric.
Well, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
So I said, not sure everyone was so down the dumps. I thought it was a fun night. And then I wrote, seriously though, you were only joking about the invoice. If not, that's fucked. and I thought, well, that's surely
classic Siegert
that's
humour.
classic Siegert. Because I remember Kinney and I, when Troy Kinney, when Troy and I were spending a lot of time together, doing a lot of gigs together, we had a thing, and I thought about doing this.
Yep.
But I thought, maybe you're not aware of this, and it might. And then I thought, maybe you won't get this. Because what we used to do is like I'd write
I am a little slow.
text message to Tam or someone, or to Dan Connell, but send it to you. Like I'd write, g'day, Dan.
Just did a gig.
Just did the gig for Evan. That cocksucker's making me invoice. I can't believe it. Never worked for that prick again. And then I'd send it to you.
Me.
And then I would send a message straight after going, oh,
sorry.
He, disregard. That was meant for someone else.
Yeah.
And that was something funny we would always
That's
do.
good.
Like he'd say, hey, Mum, did a gig with Tom. He copped up the arse tonight.
Very good.
His comedy's going nowhere. And he'd send that to me and then write back, oh, mate, disregard. Sorry about that. And it was good fun. So I thought about going that angle. And then I thought, nah, fuck, I'm going to make it real obvious. Surely he can't miss. Surely he's going to get this, and then you write back.
No, so I got that in the morning. So I've woken up. By the time I went to bed at about 12:30. I slept I reckon I had about 3 hours sleep.
Okay.
I was sleeping on a blow up mattress in Katzy's spare room, which is a podcast studio. And I'd had a couple of beers before I went to bed, so I went up to
ramping up the excuses.
Did you get that thing where you have something within half an hour going to bed? You're up all night pissing, I'm sweating, I'm up early, the alarm goes off. And then I go out to my car and I get this, your message, read that out. No, I got that message.
Yeah,
I got that message.
So you've written back, g'day, mate. Yeah, it was a fun night. I can give you the 300 in cash when we do the potty. But are you able to write out an invoice? You don't have to claim that shit at tax time. I'll just have to, because I pay you, Izzy and Katsy out of the try booking money. I put that in the original message, sorry for the confusion, mate. I'll give you a buzz at lunch. Cheers. And I was like, fucking hell. Does he think I was really...
Mate, I woke up and I'm a bit flustered. I'm a bit all over the joint. I hadn't had much sleep, and I put in the original, because I've had comedians before who I've said, you're going to have to invoice, and then on the night they go, oh, fuck, I thought I was getting cash. I said, I put it in the bloody message.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And it's just because I was a bit, like I said, I hadn't had much sleep, and I thought, geez, is he serious?
But I've never been serious in my
I
life.
know. And then about 2 hours later, I go, how the hell did I think Tommy was bloody serious there? But
and I wrote straight
I thought you
back.
were.
I got it, and I felt really bad. So I was right, hey, mate, don't be stupid. I was only joking. All good, mate. Thanks for the gig. Just happy doing gigs. P.S. You're a fucking idiot.
I think you said you must have thought I was a psycho.
But no,
So
all
apologies, mate. I mean, we've done
Nah.
56 episodes, and
I thought we had a
we
bit
haven't
of
been
chemistry, but
serious
we're not,
once.
No, we're not. Maybe
our
we've still got a bit
chemistry's
of,
off a
still
bit.
got a little way to
Jesus,
go.
I thought I'd finally. You've never been serious. I thought I finally found the one thing that has cracked Tom Siegert.
It's invoice. Just
Invoicing
nice
for a
enough guy.
$300 gig.
Nice
do you want
enough
to
guy.
piss Siegert off?
Just
That's
don't
how
ask
you
him
do
for
it.
an invoice. No,
Yeah,
but all's well that ends well. We're still on speaking
cash.
terms. So what else we got? We got
You
some,
got some emails.
do
Where you
we
going?
go emails? We got.
We'll do the emails at the end.
Yeah, we got a
Do the
fair.
emails
We got
at
a
the
fair
end.
bit this episode. So maybe we just see how we're trekking. So what have we?
So you go.
We got the text, Evan. We've talked about that.
good.
Great gig at Curramborough on Friday night,
that
and I'll
sounds exciting.
I'll quickly run through that.
Do that.
Curramborough Footy Club, Rip and Crew. They get 100 people. They call it the 500 Club. 100 people, all to chuck in $1,000.
That's good.
And that's that.
Is that on invoice?
I'm not sure
Is
if
that
that's on
cash?
invoice.
Okay.
I'll have to ask. But
Yeah.
but an absolute ripper. President down there, ripping bloke. Pato, great guy, but he's a bit of a nervous public speaker. That's not his
Forte.
It's not his forte. He runs pubs. He's a bit of a businessman, ripping bloke.
But he's more your publicans are more your over the bar kind of. Hey, Robbo, how
Yeah.
are you? They're not loud. Hey,
Not the turn the music down, give me a mic.
No,
time to chat.
they're
and he
more
was.
the-
And you could tell he was a bit nervous.
Okay.
He hasn't done a lot in the last couple of years because of COVID, and he got up and kicked off the night. I could see he was nervous. He was going to talk for a couple of minutes, thank the main sponsors, and bring me on. And he said his first words that came out of his mouth, I just want to wank everyone for coming. And it was fucking gold.
And
Just
you're
to
thinking,
see-
what time am I going to get on?
This is-
There's 50 blokes in here.
Is he gonna wank everyone?
Is
in
it
his
to
head?
completion? Is it just like 5 tugs each? That's a good. What the
Talk
crowd
about
do.
breaking the ice. It was the room erupted. It was great stuff. So Pato from Curramborough, they are a good club. Good club. They're the Giants.
The Giants. You don't get
You
a
don't see
Giants
many
too
Giants.
much,
They wear
do you?
the
They're
full
more-
Giants kit. Yeah, I think
more
it was
animals.
It was about 10 to 15 years ago. They or whenever the how long had GWS been?
Oh,
around
they've
for?
been in it for maybe
10?
Maybe 10. 10. Yeah, I reckon
So they used to be the
2012.
Bulldogs.
Okay.
And
Thought they'll jump on the.
yeah, I don't know
Giants
whether,
bandwagon.
but because I actually did their big launch when they became the Giants, and Kevin Sheedy came down and put on a function for him. Big move,
Bold move.
bold move. I'm sure it wouldn't have. Not everyone would have been on board. Would have been a tough sell.
Well, there would have been a few of
Lot
the,
of history there.
the older blokes like the Ians of the world who were like, mate, I bloody grew up at this club. You know, we're called the Doggies. We've got the Doggies theme song, and you're going to come in and just call us the bloody Giants. That's ridiculous. So it's a tough. And they've gone full Giants jumper.
Yeah, the full Giants jumper.
No.
But maybe they're a good club down there, run
That's
by
good.
Pato with not the greatest public speaker.
Just wanking everyone off.
Just
Good on you.
wanking all the sponsors off, everyone in the 500 club. So do you want to
Well,
run?
last
you got a little
yeah,
something? You
me-
got a little-
well, yeah, we'll get through mine, then you can do your
Yeah,
ADHD or whatever. So last week we were at a standstill. We didn't know. As I said, last week we went through quoted the price to do this festival.
Yep. And if you don't know maybe go back to last episode. If this is the first one you've listened to, I thoroughly recommend go back, listen to the last episode. She's a little ripper, and it'll bring you up to date with everything
Beauty.
that
All right, so, but a
Evan's
little
about to
little
fill you in
overview
on
was last year I got asked to give a quote to MC a festival in near me.
Yep.
And the other thing was I had to get a female act. So they split. It's a 10-hour day. Split it up, 5 hours each. Saturday, Sunday. So 2 MCs. What price do you want to give? And got the information off Desi.
Yep.
Go in at this. Get them to invoice me. Invoice. Don't. Invoice me. And then what I'll do out of that invoice, I pay the other comedian. So because I
take a little clip.
take a little clip because I
You
have to do the
mate.
work and get the other comedian
yep.
and whatever. So
It was a phone call.
it was a phone call.
Yep.
Not too much. So this is the price. The bloke's like, yep, that sounds great. We'll chat to you next year. All things are good to go. So then, obviously, it comes around a few weeks beforehand. You got to fill out this, fill out that. Here's your parking permit, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Here's the letter of engagement or the performance appraisal or whatever it is.
Yep.
The contract. And it says, you are getting paid total, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, hey, that's well short. That's well short of where we have to be.
Something's not right.
Something's... What's that? Is that tuna? Is that salmon? I don't know, but something's fishy.
I smell a rat.
Oh, okay, it's a rat. That's what it is.
It's a
rat. It's a fish rat.
It's a fish-eating shit rat.
It's a bloody
Tip
nibbler. That's a rat. So I ring him up. I said, "Oh, g'day, mate. I've got the thing, the contract. Mate, it doesn't seem to. That wasn't the price that we agreed upon." He goes, "Oh, sorry. What did you think it was?" I said, "Mate, I quoted, it was this." He said, "I think it was this." And then he said, and there's a bit of disparagement.
Yep.
Is that a word?
Not sure.
He said, "What I'll do, mate, I'll meet you in the middle. I said, "Well, fuck, I got no choice here. I'm not going to argue him back to the original price." I said, "All right, it wasn't in emails. It wasn't written down. I mean, I had it in my diary, what I was earning, but,
And you can write anything
I
in your
could have
diary.
written that yesterday." So I'll meet you in the middle. Perfect. Then what happens? A few days later on the Monday before our last pod,
Yep.
get an email from a lady who has taken over from running this festival because old mate has gone AWOL, has had to step down. Unfortunately,
He's been done for fraudulent activities.
He's in the Bahamas, living large on a yacht.
That's okay.
All right. So I send the email, speaking to old mate. We decided on this amount. We're going to have to change the performance fee contract. And as of last episode, I hadn't heard back. Okay, sweating bullets, thinking this might not happen. And if she comes back to me at the price that he quoted me, I'm thinking, man, you've got morals, man.
Yep.
It's principle. It's still all right money, but do I just tell them to stick it up their ass and jam it where it fits? What would you do?
Well, if you do that, they couldn't give two shits. There's a queue of people waiting to do the gig.
You're right.
So they'll pass on. You get nothing. You're hot under the collar.
I've got a mortgage. I've got a wedding coming up. They've got me by the short and curlies.
Swallow what little pride you have and bloody MC the gig, mate.
Okay, so I'm thinking...
That was my advice.
What's going to happen? So Thursday...
And I wouldn't say this is a recap. I'd say this is retelling the story.
This is retelling the story.
In its entirety.
Well, it's complex.
It is complex.
It's complex.
It's got many layers.
It's a lot of layers. And I get the email back. The lady says, perfect, no worries. We're happy with that. I'll send through a new contract. So a few days later, new contract comes through. Boom, bang, bingo.
Bingo, bango.
It's not what I'd hoped for originally, but it's better than what I got 2 days ago. So, and the thing is, Anna, who's doing the other MC, she's got a pay rise. She's got a pay rise.
Yeah, so she's wrapped.
So she's fucking wrapped.
Why didn't you just take her money?
Well, I couldn't, because what happened was originally they were going to just invoice me, and then they said you've both got to fill out a performance contract.
So potentially you could have said, how about we take set amount from that and put it in mine, but that would look pretty shitty, wouldn't it?
That would have looked shitty.
Yeah.
That would have looked shitty. So
All of a
it's
sudden
all
you're
gone
the
out the window, but
Hey,
I'm still getting paid. So bang, it's all good. I'm doing the gig. Doing the gig. So and what a gig. Should I name where it was? Because I think it was all sorted out.
I think it's all sorted out.
It's all sorted out. Everyone's cool. Happy. I mean, he's in the Bahamas, but everything's sweet. So it was the Waterfront Festival in Frankston.
And it's a bloody beauty. I saw some stuff online. I saw a bloody sneaky sound system.
And weren't they big back in the day? You remember there probably people would have been at Revolver listening to Sneaky Sound System back in the 2000s.
No one believed me.
Yeah.
And she is gorgeous.
Great voice. Gorgeous.
Just one of those real cool rockin' chicks.
That is it. But I had the morning shift because I had a gig that night. So I clock in at 11:30. I go, this is good. And the start of festivals, it's not, it's not pumping.
No.
People are sort of setting up. And really all you need all you needed is, because you don't have to do comedy. You just get a little rundown, bring on this band, mention this sponsor, tell them where the toilets are, there's food trucks over there, go to the Channel 9 thing.
You just got to be upbeat and
Just gotta
likeable.
You can't be like Paddo. Like, if I opened up with "I want to wank you all for coming," I'd be torn off stage.
Yeah, no,
so you just
you
got to be
can't-
able to string two words together,
You can't be talking about wanking.
which I could. So I started off, everything's all right. I'm upbeat, and the lady, the stage manager, after I brought on the first band, she goes, "Wow, great stuff, good energy, really great stuff."
Yep.
I go, "Things are going good. But I did make a couple of mistakes
Okay.
over the weekend. Obviously, grassed area, Frankston foreshore.
Yep.
Someone comes up and there's
Where we slept that time, is it?
where we
we
slept.
slept
It's
that
where
time.
we slept after
Yeah,
that game.
nice.
Yeah. So someone's dropped their keys, car keys.
Okay. Well, where's the MC?
Well,
This is your moment to shine.
This is my moment. I just bought on.
This is why they get MCs.
This is what you got to do. You got to find out whose keys these are. So
Yep.
I just bought on one of the acts, and he's up there strumming away. I said, "Well, we can't stuff around. People are going to be stressing. Where are my keys? What's going on?" So I said, "What I'll do after his first song, I'm going to cut him." I go, I can't remember his name. I'll get up there. I go, "Stop." So I go, "Hey, guys, I just before we go on with the set, someone's handed in a set of keys," and some bloke sort of runs forward. He goes, "They're mine." And I go, No, guys, they're Mitsubishi keys, and they've got a Ford Mustang badge on them. Okay, so if anyone's lost Mitsubishi keys with a Ford Mustang badge on them, come up the front. And as I'm saying all this, I'm going, I shouldn't have fucking said that.
Why can't you say that?
No, because then everyone will come forward
Oh, and
say, they're my keys. They're my keys.
It's like saying I found a wallet.
I found $100. I
Yeah.
found $1,000. Who's lost $1,000?
Yeah.
Like,
Good point.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you should have just said keys.
I should have just said keys,
Yeah,
but I've
okay.
gone.
No, I can see how that's a bit of a cock up.
I've described
So it's first
the
in, best
keys.
dress. First one to the stage.
Whoever wants and
has
whoever
has got himself a new Mitsubishi.
whoever can be bothered waiting around to find this Mitsubishi.
So you've basically got on stage and said, all right, we're going to have a competition. The first one to me gets a free Mitsubishi.
Gets a free Mitsubishi. Everyone's going, this
This is the best fucking festival I've ever been to.
I've paid nothing for this festival. I'm going to walk away with the Mitsubishi. This
It's,
is great.
Fuck. And on a side note, as a comedian, there's nothing worse than you're about to get on stage and just as you get on stage, they start clearing the tables or bringing dessert out or something like that.
not
I'd
good.
say as a band member, there's nothing worse than you've just finished your first song and some fuckwit gets up yelling, grabbing the mic, yelling, waving a pair
I
of
kicked
fucking...
him out of the way. I said, piss your guitar off.
Yeah.
Go get fucked.
Yelling out about Mitsubishi keys.
So I've done that. I've gone bang. And I sort of said, yeah. So if you've lost your Mitsubishi keys, come down the side of stage and we'll work out if you're bullshitting or
But
not.
it's Frankston, so surely it's
no.
good. Was Frankston?
Honest? Everyone's honest down there?
Everyone's honest down there.
Well, they probably don't need keys. They
No.
just throw a brick through the window.
Yeah.
But as I was walking off stage, I looked at the sound guy and I've gone, I shouldn't have said that. He goes, no, you shouldn't have said that. So I'm thinking, oh, God, what have I done? So one bloke came up. I showed him he goes, no, they're not my keys. And then some guy came near the backstage area and he sort of called me over and there was the stage manager and he said, I mean, you could just be saying it, but do you have a Mitsubishi? He goes, I do have a Mitsubishi.
Well, you could have said, what do they look like? You've still got that up your sleeve.
There was one identifying feature. He said one of the keys has a little yellow ring around the top of the key.
Yep.
And I looked at the only other key on there and I go, yes,
Oh.
it does have that. So I said, mate, that was either a very good guess or it's your car. So here you go. I don't want the keys anymore. I cocked up. Have fun driving someone else's car home. Well done.
Yeah, this is yours, mate. You
This
deserve
is yours.
that.
This
Yeah.
is yours. So that was the first sort of cock up, but it was
Yeah,
all
that's not
good.
great.
It was all good. That was okay.
You escaped.
And then during the day, it was just a bit of banter, just nothing too crazy. Try and crack a few jokes. They did a smoking ceremony, so they got one of the elders from I don't remember what.
Thought a smoking ceremony in Frankston was just passing the bong
10
around.
blokes in a circle
Hot
passing around the bong.
in the
That was good.
bathroom.
There actually wasn't Icy who sort of jumped up at one stage. He was harmless, but he was sort of heckling.
Because it's free to get in, isn't it?
It's free to get in.
It's a bloody
So
free
it is
for all
it's
down
a shit show. But everyone was very well behaved. But there was this smoking ceremony, and I thought I'll add a bit of because what they do, they get the green leaves.
Yep.
And you're sort of meant to get in the smoke. It wards off the evil spirits, and gives you good luck for the year. And smoke everywhere. And once they got off, I said, "Oh, that's looks like how most of my fire pits start, or some shit like something." I thought I might get something, but
I would have just stayed out of that.
they got fuck all.
I would have. I would have just let the fire pit go.
The smoking
ceremony. I would have just let that finish.
And I think as well with the Indigenous, I thanked them, and I probably shouldn't have done that.
A bit disrespectful.
Yeah, it might have been. Might have been.
You got the keys.
So that was
one
good.
From two.
So I finished. I'll finish up here because there was one little cock up. So I finished at about 5:10. There's maybe a few hundred people there.
Yep.
And I look later on. Anna has bought on Sneaky Sound System. There's a photo of her on stage. There's thousands of people.
Yeah.
And the next day she said, "Oh my God," because I had to change because I had the gig. She said, "Why did you change with me? What a shift. It was pumping. Everything was happening. I got to bring on Sneaky Sound System. It was electric." I said, hey, I got to go and perform in front of 50 people at the Rubber Chicken with Chris Franklin, all right? Okay. We've all got shit happening.
Yeah, mate. Stand by your decision. You stand by your decision. But, Sneaky Sound System.
They're big.
It would have been going off down there.
They're big.
So,
they're big.
well.
And just the one other little cock up. Sorry, I know I'm taking a bit of time. Not much. It's a slip of the tongue.
Yep.
Do you remember the Southern Suns?
Yeah, classic.
They were big, weren't they?
I'd struggle to name a song.
I couldn't really name their songs either. But I remember seeing the album titles, and Jack Jones was the lead singer. Jack Jones, he looks a bit different.
For some reason, I've got it in my head, and I don't think they would. Southern Land.
No, that's Icehouse.
Okay.
That's Icehouse, mate. Southern Suns.
Yeah.
Southern Land.
Yeah, that's
So
It's about.
You don't know much
sort of
about
like why
music.
everyone thinks Cat Stevens sings
Cats in the Cradle. Yeah.
Which he didn't, did he? Maybe he did.
No, he didn't.
Cats in the Cradle and the...
No. I don't know. I don't know.
Ugly Kid Joe?
Ugly. Oh, I don't think they're
that was a
originals.
remix.
No.
Yeah.
But Cat Stevens might. I don't know.
Big D.
Big D. We need you. So this is Jack Jones. Great tunes. Very acoustic. Nice. Jack Jones, lead singer of Southern Suns.
Ah.
All
What
right.
am I thinking of? Jack Johnson.
No, well, that's what I did. So I go, how good's that? Jack Jones, beautiful, from Southern Suns. That was gold. And as I'm walking off, once again, give it up for Jack Johnson. And as I walked off, I said Jack Johnson, didn't I? And the sound guy goes, yeah.
Was it the same sound bloke?
Same sound bloke. He goes, let's fire this cockhead.
Mate,
but it was all good.
That sound guy needs a dump button for every time you fuck up, just to quickly.
Anyway,
it
was good fun.
Mate. Front seats to the shit
good
show.
Fun.
That
was a shit show.
Yeah.
But, it was a bit of fun. It was all good.
But
I'll be back
good
next year,
times,
hopefully.
good times. Well, so we've got some letters, but I've got. So how are we going for time?
Oh, mate,
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, all right. We're at 38 minutes.
38 minutes. We've got time to burn.
Yeah.
What I did. So we've both got our festivals coming up, as you know.
Yep.
And I'm doing mine, as you probably are, through Try Booking. So what you got to do, piece of piss, takes a little bit to set up, not much, but it's just a great way to sell tickets. Anyone can do it, like footy clubs do it to sell it to their ball.
They only take 50 cents per ticket.
50 cents per ticket.
It's not like Ticketmaster where they take $35.
Yeah, it's
not much.
It's unreal. It's a great system. And what they also do, which I only discovered recently, is they keep a complete history of, because I've got the one sign in now. I've had it for nearly 10 years. So I've got this complete history now of all my shows. Emails. Complete history of every single person that's ever brought an email to any...
Bought a ticket.
What did I say?
You said email.
Bought an email.
Oh, mate, don't worry. I
Bought
said
a
Jack
ticket.
Johnson.
Yeah.
See, it's easy. It's pretty easy to do, mate.
It is easy to do.
It's easy to do.
So all you got to do, cut and paste. So admittedly, I didn't have 1,000. I think I was up around the 700 mark.
Mate, you had a lot.
Because if someone buys, because someone will buy for $7, so you don't get every person. You get every person that purchased the ticket.
Yep.
So I had about 700 people over the years have purchased tickets online through Try Booking to see my show. So I've just done a cut and paste, done a big, all right, guys, doing my show, $15 tickets, and Dan Connell said...
Anything technical, I'm worried. I'm worried about you here, Tommy. I can feel the anxiety building up in my stomach.
Yes.
There's going to be a
So I was pretty nervous. And Dan Connell
here.
said, make sure you put all the names, the cut and paste. If you put them all in BCC, no one can see
who else is on there.
You know, you get an email and you know
blind carbon copy.
Carbon copy. You know it's gone out.
Non-tech
You get an
heads.
email from thousands of people, but it doesn't. You don't see who everyone it's
undisclosed
gone to.
recipients.
Undisclosed recipients.
I'm all over this shit.
So I've done that, sent it out. Great response. Got quite a few early ticket sales, and I thought, how good's this? Because I did $15 tickets for the first 2 weeks.
Giving them away.
$15 tickets for the first 2 weeks until say Friday the 12th or whatever, and then it got to Wednesday the 10th, and I thought, you know what, I'll send out another one. Just a reminder, one last little boost,
sort of
that you've got just
annoying.
2 days left to get these free
good.
tickets.
That's good.
It was late at night. It was bloody, and I was fucking all over the shop. I think I just got back from a gig. Might have had a couple of beers, not pissed, but a couple of, it just wasn't on my A game. And I've stuck them in, sent it, and the moment I pressed it, I said, fuck. And I just, all the names.
Everyone can see.
Everyone can see. But the worst thing about that is it's got to be against some privacy policy.
I don't think you can hand out everyone else's emails.
No, so now if someone wants a group, like someone can just cut and paste that, and that's like a mailing list for someone.
That's correct.
It's got to be against some privacy policy.
And you know when sometimes someone rings you up and they've got your number and whatever. How'd you get my number? Well, it's sort of like that. How'd you get my email? And they go, well, Tom Siegert gave it to me.
Yeah. And I knew at the moment I did it, and I just said, and I yelled out to my wife, babe, is there anything you can do? And she said, no, you're a fucking idiot. And I just felt physically sick. And also the other part of it is because people write back to me saying, mate, we saw you in the Suburban Footballer in 2018. Really looking forward to
that. Doesn't go to everyone, does it?
Well, if they do reply
there's people out there that are as dumb as I am. That hurts.
And everyone gets that. So bloody some guy from some accountant in bloody Perth who bought me tickets once, he's all of a sudden, who bought 3 tickets for him and his kids, all of a sudden he's getting some dickhead's email saying, oh, mate, looking forward to coming. We should catch up for a beer afterwards.
Well, maybe it's a way people get... I mean, everyone's so distant these days. Maybe it's like the old pen friend or something.
So bringing everyone together.
Bringing everyone together, mate. Let's not look negative, Tommy. Let's look positive that these people, they're going to get to know each other. Maybe they'll catch up at the show and go, hey, remember when Tommy the fuckhead sent all our emails?
It'll bring everyone together.
Yeah. Let's all meet here. We'll sit next to each other. We'll watch Tommy.
A real community.
I haven't
got a fan base. I've got a community.
It is, mate. It's
a community.
Yeah, it takes a while to build a community, and you're doing it now, mate. Should we do a smoking ceremony?
Maybe not.
Okay.
It's just, I tell you what, it's fucking smoking hot in here. I'm sweating like a... witch's tit.
Sweating like Paddo at a season launch.
But, it is hot. So anyway, I went to bed pretty bloody sleepless that night. I was rolling, tossing and turning, thinking, what am I going to wake up to?
Oh, God.
But
the cops.
No one seemed to say anything. My sister emailed me back saying, we're getting tickets. And I rang her. I said, Did you see that I emailed everyone? She said, I did see that. I wasn't going to say anything.
I think most people, if they've been to your show, they know the tech side's not you.
Yeah.
You're just the funny man.
I'm just a funny man.
Maybe fucked up.
Maybe they think, that's what a character.
What a character.
That's Tommy for you. Let's get 10 tickets.
That's Tommy. I'm glad I'm in his community.
That's Tommy. So, all right. Do we read the letters and then ADHD Day?
We'll do the letters, then ADHD ADHD day. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the batteries on this Zoom recorder. It's down to 1. I don't want to, if we go long, I don't want to have to change it in the middle.
Yeah,
so
good call.
I'll do that. So we'll be back soon. All right, let's kick it, Tommy boy.
All right,
let's get into the letters.
So we're getting into the letters. First,
Full battery.
this is one I received through my Facebook. This is from Anthony Lamond.
Yes, good man.
He's a good man.
I've never met him in person.
It's great guy. South Aussie guy, now living, made the move to Queensland. God bless him. And he just wrote, and it's a fairly lengthy one, just about about a conversation we had about the 4 and 20 pies.
Oh, yeah. I said I don't like them.
And I said I love them. And he said he agreed that a 4 and 20 pie simply must be microwaved.
Okay.
It can't be put in the oven or you get all that crispy shit.
Mate, it is like asbestos.
It's like, and his quote, he says to his wife, "Don't you fucking dare put mine in the oven.
Yep.
Just microwave it because I hate having to use a chainsaw to get through the rock-hard crust on the top that the oven creates. And I prefer my perfectly cooked pie arrive ready to eat in 3 minutes rather than wait an hour for a rock-encased blob of lava."
Yeah, no, totally agree. It's worse than sourdough. If it is in, like I said, the one I got out of those, they must have been sitting in that pie warmer for 3 days. It's bloody. I think that's where I chipped my tooth. No, when I got no teeth left, I've been eating 4 and 20 pies. I got bad teeth. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It just fell out.
It just fell out.
Yeah. Is that
anyway? So I couldn't agree with Anthony more. So
Lamond. Oh, Anthony. Yeah, sorry, Anthony Moore. Sorry.
Did you think I called him Anthony Moore?
I did.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, it's been a long day.
It is hot in here.
It is hot in here.
We are losing too much fluid. So, Anthony Moore, Maury, thanks very much for your
Tony Moore.
Tony Moore. Thanks very much. That's true.
I
True
agree.
words that have been spoken. Chuck, the oven and the pie should not be allowed anywhere near
That's
each
up
other.
there with rule of thumb,
You got it. That's with your rule of thumb. You got to nuke them. I tell you what, I've been telling some people about the rule of thumb.
It's getting good views on the YouTube. We're up to 83 subscribers.
Holy shit!
Mate, Jesus Christ.
We can. Geez, it's a good conversation starter.
Oh, it's a ripper. And small talk, it's like, how's the weather? Hey, you had a steak lately?
Yeah,
I got something for you, baby.
Always word it like, do you know what the rule of thumb is? Yeah. And it's just haven't told anyone that hasn't been impressed.
People. That's good.
Number 2, this is from Simon Forbes.
Forbesy.
He's a team leader. Well, la-di-da, Forbesy. We won't
bleep that out.
Hey, Tommy and Evo, just subscribe to the podcast and love it after seeing the suburban footballer down at the Church Hill Cricket Club.
Well done.
Because that was part of our promotion, which we don't do enough of. You made up some business cards.
Yes.
That whenever we have a good gig, which is, let's face it, once in a blue moon.
I haven't given out any cards yet.
We go around and give out the business cards and say, if you enjoyed that, mate, you could have us every Thursday.
You're going to love this.
You're going to love this. And I think that's slowly trying.
It is.
It's slowly building.
Business cards aren't that as big as what they. But I thought that with the little QR codes, it's something.
Yeah,
something.
Business cards. When you hand a business card to some of the young kids and that, I don't know what they're
fucking.
I don't know what it is.
They rack shit up with it.
Anyway, we'll spread the word. Keep bantering, and all the best from Big Nose Brewing.
Bang.
Because he had his own little brewery and donated the alcohol to the cricket club. It's a great way for a brewery to get out there. Get down your local cricket club / footy club because they love
the beers.
Ben Tiffin, do you want to take this one?
Yeah,
it's a bit lengthy,
this is Benny. You're struggling. So Benny was the bloke who run the speed date and stuff.
Yep.
He was the man, and he went to your show last year. He's a great bloke,
so
Benny.
That's the sort of thing that makes you think, there's a lot of people listening because we didn't know he was. We had no idea that he was a listener. Or did you?
Maybe I did, but maybe at your show last year he said I listened to the podcast a bit, but we were all over the joint back then.
Yeah.
So he's hung in strong here. He goes, hey fellas, loving the podcast. Keep up the great work. Cheers for the shout out last week for the comedy speed dating days.
I actually felt a bit sick when I read that because I thought, oh fuck, what did we say? Because I I was talking, not thinking that he'd be listening. And they were great. Don't get me wrong, they were great.
They were
but I
good
thought,
gigs,
geez,
but no, you just said the crowd.
They were tough.
They were hard work because,
Yeah.
as I said, you were talking about how great your life was, and they're trying to find a date, and they got warts on their cock and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So they got other things on their mind. So sorry, they were tough gigs, but it's all, as a comic, it's good to be working. You blokes both did a really good job though, and made the nights work well. For the fuck checkers,
Yeah.
we did have strict age groups. I reckon in hindsight, though, we probably should have checked some IDs.
Yeah. Yeah. They were just...
It's like Ian rocking up to the 20-plus sort of category.
or you just giving out keys to anyone.
Yeah, that's right.
You
that's
got to
right.
check
You
IDs.
gotta check
you can't
IDs.
trust people these days.
Here we go. Here we go. It's not really intended to have midget Indian knife throwers matching with Amazonian women, but we didn't discriminate.
No, you can't.
The main thing we noticed, as Evo pointed out, was the blokes were really hard to sell tickets to. Women were signing up in droves, as you would. But guys, and this was probably before the Tinder days.
Yeah, before Tinder days.
So, but guys were impossible to entice. That mystified me. In pretty much every other social situation that can potentially lead to sex, we all know that guys were outnumbered girls like 10 to 1. So nightclubs and things like that. It's like a sausage fest. It's like post office. It's too much male.
Yep.
I've been knocked back from many
clever.
nightclubs. What's that?
That's clever.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Haven't heard that? The
Too
post
much
office,
mail.
too much mail. Yeah. I've been knocked back from many nightclubs for this reason alone. There's too many blokes in there. You can't come in. However, women loved... Oh, sorry. Why... Oh, here, what... Oh, fuck this up. You could have done better. I reckon we get Pato to read this. Why was speed dating so different? I think these days guys can't be stuffed doing any more than scrolling through 600 pictures per hour on Tinder.
But this wasn't these days. This was 10 years ago.
No, but this is why Tinder probably killed.
Okay.
Yeah. However, women loved the control. They had to fuck guys off after 6 minutes, which is great. 6 minutes, you're just counting down the timer. It's like a shot clock. They're like, oh, let's fucking just get this over with. Guys hated it for the same reason. It's the reason why the business unfortunately didn't last. But it was heaps of fun to run for a while. And thanks heaps to you blokes for your time. It was an interesting social experiment in the end. And also Mimi Shaheen's first gig, who you've seen, who, I actually met her. I think I mentioned, I won't go over that, but I met her on the night and she did her first gig at a speed dating night. And they loved her because she was a woman. She was impressionable.
Yep.
No, not impressionable. She was personable. And she had personable stories and people could relate to that.
Yeah.
And they couldn't relate to you, Tom. So
No.
great times. Really enjoyed those nights. Keep up the pods, boys. 54 eps is just the tip of this
you're a
iceberg.
good
So
man.
cheers, Benny.
Mate, well, I've got a bit of a theory
good on you, mate.
why
Oh, it's standing. You cannot take a photo of that.
What the hell?
I threw this. Get the photo. Take a photo. You got to
Evan has
take.
thrown a piece of paper.
Don't blow it.
I
I
be very...
threw that.
Oh, no, there's a
Get-
fucking cord behind
But
it.
still, it looks impressive.
Evan has
I
thrown a
could
bit of
not do that
paper.
again. I could not do that again.
This is a 1 in a million thing.
This is 1 in a million, mate. It's like
I'm sorry
me
that-
meeting a doctor.
Evan has thrown a bit of paper.
I just threw it. If you get it on the YouTube, I threw it, and this is
and
what
it is standing.
It is it is hitting a mic cord, but I didn't know it was going to hit that. So
Well,
That's pretty
obviously
big.
that's
That's
not great
pretty-
for the listeners at
that's
on radio.
pretty
But that
shit,
for us here, that
podcasting. Unless you're on the YouTube.
that is unbelievable. If that doesn't make you get on the YouTube, I don't know what will.
Well,
which
83
you probably
subscribers.
can't even see it on the YouTube.
No, you
Can
can't.
you?
No, you can't. You would have seen me throw it though.
Yeah,
That was sort of cool.
not the good bit of it.
No.
Anyway, so I've got
Okay.
a theory that the girls, they like that situation where they could find out everything about the guy, and
In 6 minutes.
you'd find out everything about him. You had control, and it was there was no outside
they're not
noise.
dropping stuff in your drink.
No, whereas the
It's very well
guy,
controlled.
I reckon he's determined to not have the real him found out. So he likes the DJ pumping, he likes
Yeah.
getting bumped into, he likes the crowded nightclub.
Yeah.
Whereas the girl, she likes to find out about the guy, but the guy... Does that make sense?
It makes sense, mate. It makes sense. But I reckon, I looked at it and I thought, if I had single mates, I go, guys, get here.
Yeah.
There's some great ladies here who are just, they want to have a chat. It might lead to something. And, there were 10 women you're never going to talk to 10 women at a nightclub. You'd be lucky. You might get bloody 10 drinks thrown in your face at a nightclub, but bloody
not 10 good conversations.
Not 10 good
But
conversations.
I think we're trying to sell something that stopped
it's gone.
10 years ago.
It's
so
gone.
anyway, this one's from Zach Winter Irving.
Yep.
Hey lads, another one of your loyal listeners. Ugh, always a good listen for a laugh and helps dealing with traffic. Good. That's good.
That is good.
Anyway, I was listening to episode 53 last Friday, and I start turning it up a bit more as I hear the town Nagambie mentioned. And then it ends up being a story about me old mate Manga.
Manga.
I've just moved to the Gold Coast, but I'm from Nagambie. Manga and I are good mates. Both played footy and cricket at Nagambie. Well, we are bringing people together.
We are bringing people together. We're forming our own community here, Tommy.
This is unbelievable
And that
stuff.
was Manga, who obviously was on the phone and said, "Nah, don't stress. They've sold fuck all."
Yeah. So,
Manga's
P.S. When listening to the episode, I got stuck in traffic for 3.5 hours and I had to piss in a bottle. I half filled a litre bottle.
500 mils.
Question for the listeners. When and where's been the worst place you've had to go?
Yes. Good question.
Oh, if you remember some of the early episodes.
You've pissed everywhere.
No, I was. Because when I was training for that marathon, I was doing quite a few shits in the park.
Yeah, poo jogger.
Poo jog. I was doing quite a bit of poo jogging, so that's never great.
No, that's not good. Urinating. I think there he's talking about if you're caught in traffic, wherever you had to piss. We always see. I love seeing someone pulled over on the side of the road. And just
four blokes
letting it rip
on the fence.
On the fence.
People give them a beep, 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 beep.
Or the little kid who obviously can't hang on, and the mums, they got their bloody. I mean, not that I like seeing kids' asses, but when I shouldn't have spoken about this, but yeah, it's just funny seeing people piss in public.
It is good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good stuff. So maybe if you do want to hit us up, where is the worst place you've had to go? Old Zachy had to piss in a bottle because he got caught in traffic.
Well, that's real footy trip stuff on the bus. Pissing in the bottles.
Pissing in the bottles.
I got a great story for it. I don't know whether I've told this story before.
Go for it.
This is such a good story that I hope I haven't built it up too much. I met this guy, and I won't even say what state he was in. But I was at a footy club, just did a gig. It was a luncheon, and I was chatting with this bloke. And I meet a lot of funny blokes after gigs, and this guy was a cracker. There was a group of people around him, probably 8 or 9 blokes, young, old, everyone just hanging off his every word. This guy was probably in his mid-50s, and he was just a funny guy. He was up there doing the presentations of the luncheons, telling people to get fucked, hey, Jono, and everything he said, people were laughing. He was just a funny bloke. And you could tell he had a story he wanted to tell me because I'd just done the comedy, and you could tell he fancied himself as a comedian, which quite often people do, and you just think, you're kidding yourself? But this guy, he was a funny guy. And he told me this story, and I actually rang up the club a couple of weeks later and said, can I get his phone number? And I rang him up and spoke to him, and I said, mate, that was one of the best stories I've ever heard. Oof. Would you be able to do that? If I interview you, would you tell that story? And I'll put it on my Suburban Footballer page.
Oh, that's good.
And this is going back 5 or so years. And he goes, mate, I'd love to. And then it got close to the date, and he rang me up and he said, mate, I'm fucking spewing, but I've just got new partners into me business.
Yeah.
So I just can't do it. I can't. These people don't know this side of me.
Yep.
And I said, oh well, mate, no dramas. And anyway, I'll tell you the story. So he's living in Victoria at the time. They're about to catch the bus. Have I told this story?
Maybe in passing, but yeah, go for it.
Not
on this. No.
So country.
When I'm sick of it.
So country town in Victoria. So they're in a country town in Victoria. They're getting a bus to Sydney.
Yep.
And there's 20 blokes on the bus.
Little
right?
minibus.
On the minibus. So they're on this minibus. They've got on, and they're about an hour. They're all on there. Get on the piss. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. They're all starting to have beers, and someone needs a piss. Mm-hmm. And everyone goes, all right, what are we going to do? We can't be stopping every half hour to do a piss to Sydney. Do it. It's going to take us 3 days to get to Sydney. So I've said, okay. So they put all the beers into this one esky.
Great.
And they'll use the other esky to piss in. They go,
Good.
oh, that's funny stuff.
That's
so,
good.
So they're all pissing away in this esky. It's sloshing away. It's pretty
Yeah.
gross stuff. And anyway, it's starting to get worse.
Full.
It's starting to get pretty full. But what do you do? It's all the blokes. Who cares? And this guy, he's a bit of an entertainer. And he maybe sensed that things were dying off a bit.
Ooh.
So he thought it'd be funny if he took a dump in the piss esky.
Okay.
So he's sat on the esky and taken a dump in the esky, and everyone's cheering. They're only about 2.5 hours into probably an 8-hour trip, and everyone's cheering, and it's great fun. The poo's sloshing around the wee, and it's just a old gross bus.
Wouldn't have
That's gross.
smelled.
Not great.
Great.
But I think it's a gross bus. Like if you're thinking this is bottom end bus, this is this is I'm thinking late 80s.
Yes. So this is
fairly,
real bottom end.
Yeah, so this is
a fair dump.
and
You
this
know,
is an 80s late 80s dump. The dumps were bigger.
They were huge
big
back then.
And this
They
is
were big. There was no half flush.
footy
on the
trips.
dumps.
Footy trips are pretty wild now. A late 80s footy trip.
That's
People dumping in
piss.
Eskies.
Eskies.
In Eskies. Anyway, so he's taking the dump in this Esky. And by the time he's telling this story, and we're hanging off every word. He just told a great story, this bloke. Every little detail about it.
Well, there's got to be a good finish. It's
gotta be a good
taking
finish.
a dump in a piss esky.
Yeah, so and he said there was a guy at the back who was just sitting there really quiet. Everyone's having the time of their life. And there was one guy at the back who was
Horned up.
No, he was just sitting there, really just intense. And people were going, what's wrong with Jono? Oh, well, he'll be right. And then Jono, he'd had enough grog. Jono just stood up 3 hours into the trip, walked up to this bloke and said, who was one of his best mates.
Yes.
If not his best mate, and said, so Jono said to Trent, they're not their real names, obviously. And
Clearly
said,
not.
Trent, mate, I can't live with this anymore. This is driving me fucking crazy. And he goes, I've been sleeping with your wife. And he said it was just silence. Like, as you imagine, bit of a mood killer.
Well, it is. Yeah,
and everyone
you've got the
heard
piss, the shit.
the poo's slopping around.
We're sharing stuff.
Yeah, and he said, I've been sleeping with Jane. He goes, I'm sorry, mate.
Not a real name.
Not a real name. I'm sorry, mate. It's been happening for a while. We didn't plan on it. And he's just going, mate, I'm sorry, I love her. And he's just going, mate, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. He goes, I can't fucking keep it from you anymore. And they've just stared at each other for about a minute. And all of a sudden, the bloke whose wife
Has been
sleeping with the other guy has just taken a swing. So it's on.
It's on.
So these two are all of a sudden, bus is going down the highway.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. You can't hold that against
can't.
him. He couldn't see that coming. He was having a minute ago, he was having a great time.
Yeah,
he was on
he's
a
good.
footy trip.
He's good.
And anyway, so it is on. So two blokes fighting.
Late 80s.
Late 80s. Two blokes just punching on a bus, and they're fighting away. And anyway, so this guy telling the story, and he said, he goes, mate, I didn't know what to do. He goes, so I've grabbed the bloke in a headlock, and everyone's trying to drag him away, and I'm pulling him, and he said, and I've slipped.
Where's the esky? Where's the esky?
And he said, I've slipped, and I've fallen out into the bucket of piss and shit. And he said, I got up, and he goes, I got up, and he said, the way he said it, he goes, we're 3 hours into it, and this was his big finale. He'd obviously done it a million times.
Yeah.
He goes, we're 3 hours into a 5-day footy trip. We've got 5 hours left to go till we get to Sydney. I'm covered in piss. I've got my own shit on my shoulder. and he goes, oh, fuck, I forget how he read it, but he said the bus driver pulled over and he goes, you guys are fucked, get out. He goes, I've put up with the shit, you guys are fucked, you're out. And so he's kicked half the blokes out.
Right.
They've separated the two.
You're in Gundagai.
Yeah, so that he's just covered in his own shit and he's on the side of the road, and just the way he told this story, it was just still to this day the best of it. And I didn't do it justice. I'd love to.
Mate, it was good. I'm laughing, but sometimes You have to be there.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
So what happened after that? They just
Well, they had to
they
separate,
all
they had
left.
to
They're all
separate
left.
everyone. They couldn't have these two guys together.
They couldn't have them balloon in the late 80s on a
They
bus.
couldn't have them balloon for 5 days on this
Can't
footy
do
trip.
that.
So I think half the guys went with one bloke who had to go back home, had to hitch back home, and the other.
God.
And the other guys went on the footy trip. Absolute bloody dog's breakfast. Way to ruin a footy trip.
Oh, that's terrible.
Look, and I apologise if I didn't do that justice.
No, that was good. That was good. But that's
goes to show.
big. That's,
if you do have a bombshell like that,
if someone's just shit it or pissed in an esky, maybe don't tell them then.
Don't tell them then, and do it at the end of the.
Or maybe
footy
just
trip.
don't sleep with your.
Ah,
missus.
yeah, no, that's
maybe,
an option.
Maybe prevention's probably the
Yeah,
best
prevention's
form.
better than
Prevention's better than
Yeah.
whatever the other thing is.
So,
but
anyway,
that's a good one.
How long have we been going for?
Mate,
We're going.
We're going well, mate.
It's-
People are liking the longer episodes. You've got to tell your
Are they?
ADHD thing.
Oh yeah, it's ADHD day.
Yeah.
All
Mate,
right, here we go.
This is going to be good. I
Here we go.
want to know.
I won't. I'll do a quick recap because
Yep.
But if you really want to recap, go back and listen to
Just tell the
to
whole
last
story.
week's. No, it
Okay,
dragged
kidding.
on.
So you've typed this out.
I haven't typed this out. This is what the
This is
given
the
me.
medical
This is
stuff.
the medical shit.
Jesus,
So
25
So it's
pages.
ADHD day. I'm not going to read this. No. So we've sat down. Been to the doctors. We finally, it's just dragged on for a very long time.
Yes.
We're sitting down, and I won't say a name, with the psychologist. My wife.
Are you on a couch? Is it like, because you know how in movies it's
No,
always
we're
like
at home.
you're laying on a, she come to your place.
No,
So I think-
we had to do it online.
online. Isn't that shit?
Yeah, so it was lacking a bit of, it was already
Passion?
lacking a bit of
Personal.
it was lacking that personal touch.
She doesn't care.
And
She's in her undies.
Look, I hate to say it, and I won't say her name. Her English wasn't great. So she was a bit.
Was it Ian's wife?
You've got to pick your. Might have been Ian. You got to pick your audience.
That was his latest role.
You got to pick your audience. Like if I'm talking to to someone that's deaf,
Sign
and he's
language.
relying on
Lips.
I'm not going to cover my mouth up.
No, don't-
Whereas this
don't wear a
lady
Spider-Man
knows that I
mask.
potentially have ADHD, yet she was sort of rambling, and I had
She
real
had trouble.
trouble
She was holding toys
concentrating.
up and sort of throwing.
And even my wife said, "I tell you what, she lost me for a bit there." So
Okay.
so anyway, so it was about an hour, so previously she'd given me a questionnaire to fill out, about 100 questions, and they range from everything from drug taking to history of school to do I get aggressive?
And you lose your
What do I
virginity.
eat? My sex life. This was absolutely
this is
everything
Personal.
broken into nine categories. And anyway, so she's had that for about a week to stew over. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't reckon she read it before the interview. I reckon
She didn't stew at
wasn't
all.
doing a lot of
There was
stewing.
no soup. There was no
It
stew.
was 2 minute. It was 2 minute noodles. If there was any sort of, she was just, she was flying by the seat of her pants, I reckon. And anyway, so she's sat down. She goes, "Oh yeah, do this," and I think Tammy was there to make sure that I wasn't talking shit. So she
I
was
think
talking
as well, Kristen as well. Like the bloke, it's easy for a bloke to go, "What they say," and he goes, she just said this. You got to ask the questions. You need someone to hear it to back you up.
Yeah.
especially when your brain's as shit as yours.
She's
like,
is amazing.
because you go, "What'd she say?" You go, "An hour. I got no idea."
Yeah.
So Tam's there for.
Yes, so she's also there for that, but she was
Moral
also
support.
there to. She mainly spoke to her for the first 15 minutes, saying, "Would you agree with this?" And Tam said, "Yeah." And then to Tam's credit, she agreed with pretty much everything I said.
Did you just walk out of the room?
No, I was
or you
just
were
sitting, I was
looking
just
at a
sitting there
butterfly
thinking,
or something?
This
What
is
were you
a little
doing?
bit awkward because I didn't know. I forgot I filled out that form, and then she pulled out the form. And I was like,
Forgot you filled out 100 questions.
I was like, the
you forgot you filled
fucking
out 100
form.
question form.
And so she's reading through all this form that I filled out about like sex life and all this sort of stuff. Where I've had to, it was just questions, and you had agree, disagree, mild. It was just they were sort of multiple choice. But Tam agreed with everything I say. And then it just sort of it just sort of fizzled out. And she said got to the end, and she said, "I think you have da 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 da," and it was all very confusing, and it was a lot of words I didn't know. And she said, "You
Big
should
words.
da da da," and Tam and I was really trying to listen, and it got to the end, and it turned off, and I was like, "What happened? What happened?" And Tam's
The
like,
Zoom
"Well,
finished.
yeah,
Gone.
It's gone." She said, "What?" She said, "Good luck with everything you do. Good luck for the future." And I was just left. It was a bit of an anticlimax, and I was like, "What happened? Have I got ADHD or what?" And Tam goes, "Well, it is sort of hard to tell." She was insinuating that there's an issue there, but what is it? But she did say she's going to email my doctor, and she'll CC me in. So then I'm now to go to the doctor.
Well, let's hope she doesn't CC
Everyone. Yeah, I said, well, I might pass this on to everyone. I've got a nice little mailing list I can send this out to. So anyway, within a couple of hours, she's emailed my GP and this form, and so here it is.
This is it.
This is a report card on my
is whether
on my brain.
You're dumb or this is your ADHD. Let's see what Tommy's got.
Well, no, it's War and Peace here, so I'm not going to read
small text.
It's small text. This is the last thing I need.
Glasses.
So it's blah blah blah. Thank you for referring Tom, who I've seen with his wife Tammy via a video.
Zoom.
And I like this bit. Tom is a well presented and personable 43-year-old who works in the hardware sector and does stand-up comedy in the evenings.
And sometimes during the day.
He has presented today for assessment of ADHD, who reports symptoms since school days and reduced concentration and finds it hard to maintain focus. And it just goes on and on and on. And he said he denies ETO and illicit drug use.
Okay.
I said
the last couple of years.
I said I was honest. I said I had dabbled illicit
Earlier?
drug use in the past, but and Tammy was there. She goes, "No, he's not a drug user now.
Not a fiend.
His speech is at a normal rate and volume. He says his mood is anxious and affect anxious."
You said that? You're anxious?
This is what she's saying. She said, "I thought his mood was anxious."
Well, I'm just waiting to find out if my life's fucked, or
Yeah.
so you can excuse me for having a little bit of anxiety going on.
Yeah, I might be about to find out I'm dumb as dog shit. So his thought is coherent and he's logical.
Yep.
Impression. Here we go. From my assessment, observation completed, ADHD questionnaire, corroborative from wife. My opinion is Tom presents. He meets the criteria of ADHD.
You've got it!
I've got ADHD!
You've got ADHD!
I'm not a fucking idiot!
You've got ADHD!
Woohoo!
You have got it!
You little beauty!
Mate,
I'm going to put this up.
That is brilliant.
Some people might hang their bloody
Diplomas,
diploma up
their
there.
degrees up there.
Not me.
You wouldn't mind it in bigger writing.
Yeah, but I could highlight. I could blow it up. This is going
blow it
straight
up.
to the pool room.
You have got ADHD. That is amazing news, mate.
What a relief!
That is amazing news.
Tom pretend, and it's just got some weird shit here.
It's all weird words.
And so of the 9 sections, you had to have got 6 to be for her to consider ADHD.
Yep.
Perfect score, 9.
Oh,
Couldn't
mate.
be prouder.
Lay down Mazaire, mate.
Could not be
Could
prouder.
9 out of 9, mate.
I could have fluffed around the last
You could have
3.
stuffed around. You could have just written anything. Mate.
Oh,
9 out of 9. That's
I'll tell you
great.
what.
Have you told your parents?
Not yet, but I'll tell you what, they will be proud as punch because
They will.
I have not got.
Well, that's going to answer a lot of their questions as well.
Why? Yeah, that would be the first perfect score I've ever got in my life.
That is good news.
Whew,
Is that a relief? Do you feel relieved?
Sort of. I would have preferred that someone a little more personable deliver the news.
Yeah.
She was sort of all over the shop. But and I hope she's not just popular in this because she just
Gives you what you want to
gives
hear.
everyone ADHD.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway.
it's easier than. But now, so where do we go from here?
We go to the doctors.
What do we do?
And so she's got a big list of fair old cocktail of drugs she's going to give me.
Okay.
And, but as I said, side effects of these drugs, reduced appetite, difficulty
Third
falling
testicle.
asleep. Anyway, but as I said right from the start, life is good.
Life's good,
Life
mate.
is good, and I'm glad that
You've got a working brain.
I'm glad that we sort of went through this while Tammy was there, and I said to this lady, look, right from the start, this is the first thing I said. I'm going to preface this meeting by saying, life's good.
Good word.
I've got a beautiful wife, got 3 great kids. Life's going well. I've got a passion, got great mates, but so if this changes anything, whether it be my mood, whether it be my creativity, my anything, whether it gives me insomnia, if it affects me in any way, fuck it, pills down the dunny, and
I'll live with it.
Life's good anyway.
I reckon you're doing all right, mate.
Yeah, but I can't fucking focus on anything.
No, okay.
We've
done all right
which is
for
a
the
bit of an
last
issue.
hour and a bit.
Yeah, it's a battle.
Maybe I've got ADHD. I struggle to focus as well.
Mate, I'll
Should
give you
I
the
hit her
question.
up?
Mate, I'll
Hit her
give
up.
you the
Give me the questionnaire.
I'll give you
I
the
reckon I'll
questionnaire.
get 9 out of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Mate,
So
not just anyone get 9 out of 9, mate.
okay, well, all right. I'll go. Is it 50% pass rate? Or
No, you got to get 6 out of 9.
Okay, I reckon I could do that.
Yeah.
I reckon I could do that.
I reckon you could do it.
You show me the answer.
Yeah, there was a little concerning that it was just a questionnaire. I thought maybe there would have been a little bit more to it.
But
But
you would like a bit of personable, maybe over the Zoom. I reckon anyone could get Zoom for an hour. Like I'm looking at the roof after 2 minutes. So ADHD is that's
But yeah, so
easy
it's
diagnosis.
good to know. So I think the drugs take a bit of tinkering and a bit of this, bit of that, maybe. Well, I don't know, but the drugs they prescribed.
Tell me
I've never heard of any of
Kristen.
them.
I'll
yeah.
screenshot that. Kristen knows all those drugs.
Mate,
so
take it. I've got it. I got the email.
All right, great.
Yeah,
I'll
take
that.
Give us
and
an update.
We'll find out what.
Yeah, I'd never heard of any of
lethal
them.
cocktail.
Yeah, I'd never heard of any of them.
Ripping
So
into.
bit of a worry, but.
It's all right
Yeah,
if
that's,
it makes you feel good, but if you become boring, you're going to have to get rid of the fucking drugs.
Yeah, if I become a drooling zombie in the corner,
Well,
zombie?
yeah. It might make more.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
You might have to take over the podcast.
Might have to.
But
yeah.
anywed, so that's it.
Congratulations, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. What an
Great to-
achievement.
great to
What
hear.
an achievement.
Great
I think
to hear.
deep down I knew there's something wasn't right up there.
Yeah.
But anyway, good times.
Good times, mate. Good
ADHD
times.
day done and dusty.
Martin. So yeah, good stuff. Hey, you got anything else?
No,
That's it. That's the big. That's the big finale. That's beautiful. So thank you to everyone who has been listening to the podcast. Make sure you give it a rating, give it a review.
I'll tell you what, were we going to... So,
Do it.
so we're chatting... We still got... Bear with us for one more minute. This is important.
It's good.
We've been talking to mates recently who've got podcasts that are flying.
They're flying.
And ours are... I'll tell you what, we
Slow
are on
build. Slow build.
A slow build. It's like when you're on a treadmill
You just
and you know how you can change the incline?
we're doing it
You
slowly.
only do it, you press it once, so it's only 0.5.
Yeah, you don't-
It's
yep.
definitely going up, but you can't really notice it.
Yeah,
So
sort of
we are.
can-
You
we're
can
getting
notice
there.
it. We're getting there. So,
getting
but everyone you talk to, they say there was something. There was a fork in the road. There was a big break, and we reckon we got a pretty good product now. Like quite often, it was a celebrity or someone big that shared it.
Well, remember, like I spoke to Nick Cody,
Nick
who's
Cody.
obviously on Fox FM.
Yep.
Comic. He's been on TV. He's doing all that. He's got a podcast, Mid-Flight Brawl, with Luke Heggie, great funny comedian and they're going really well.
Going great guns.
Going great guns, and they've got a bit of media fan following. But they said Ari Shafir's got a big podcast over in the States, so he gave him a bit of a share. There was a few other things that shared and sort of went whoof, went big.
So we don't have that.
Know any famous people?
So we've got a cunning plan.
Yep.
And this is a big ask. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. But we would love every listener, if you're enjoying it.
Yep. If you like it.
If you like it, there's a little... So where is it? On the
Apple Podcast?
On Apple Podcast. Yeah.
Where you can copy the link.
Either share or copy the link. It'll take you 1 minute and send it
Unless you've got ADHD.
Hey, it might take a bit longer. And just send it to 3 mates that you reckon might enjoy it.
Yep.
Don't send it to your nana. Don't send it to Ian. He doesn't...
Ian
Ian won't
he's
get
dead.
it. Just to 3 friends who you think you might like it, and we reckon. Look,
The numbers will go.
The numbers will go up.
Because we haven't asked that before, have we?
haven't asked
We've
that
said
before.
rate it, review, and you're going, how do I rate? How do I review? A few people are, but yeah.
But don't just think, oh, everyone else will do it. Right now, get on the phone, send it to 3 friends who you think, fuck, they might like that. Like, see, my mate's got I reckon he might have ADHD. He might get something out of that. Or actually,
my mate's stolen a car.
Or my mate bloody fell over in
Frankston.
a bucket full of shit and
My
had shit
mate
on his
was
shoulder.
the bloke who
Yeah.
did the shit.
So, so, look, I know it's a lot to ask,
Yep.
but if you could do it, that'd be great. No stress if you can't. I think that's it for the app.
I think that's it. Also, like I said, tickets to my comedy festival show, get on the website, Melbourne Comedy Festival, get on there and use the code BANTER for 25% off tickets, discount tickets. Use the code BANTER and we'll get your
Yeah, I still
thing.
haven't worked out my...
That's right, we'll work that out.
My code.
You've
That's
had a big
coming.
week.
Had a big week.
Had a big week. So thanks for tuning in. Get on the YouTube. All that stuff. Really good banter at gmail.com if you want to have a chat. So thanks very much. That is another episode of Good Banter.
Good banter.